So in November, one of my friends' dad passed away, right? I actually made a very brief video about it. And in that video, I was like recording 4 hours before the funeral. And I was just sad because he was a nice guy. I did go to the funeral, even though I said I was hesitant to go. And I felt embarrassed because I cried so much. I cried so much in front of everybody. Listen, I always be saying I'm a crybaby, okay? I cry for the littlest misfortunes out there. So this was 3 months ago, right? Well, last week, the same friend, his mom passed last week. So I'm like, what the heck? You lost your dad 3 months ago, and now you just lost your mom. And this time, I didn't go to the funeral. There was two viewings on Saturday, I think, and on Monday, which was yesterday, there was a funeral mass. I just I just couldn't do it. I didn't go to the viewings. I didn't go to the mass. It's like I also I had a lot of work to do. I can't do this. Like I just can't do this. So I was actually supposed to give a gift to that friend for his father's passing. Like I had something that was for his dad, right? Uh, his dad was I don't anyway. His dad, it was a coin, okay? His dad was into this stuff, right? It was a custom coin, something family related. It was engraved with something family related. Yo, I had to put down $298 for that coin because when you go to printing companies, if you actually want a high quality custom coin, you have to buy them in bulk. You can't just order one coin unless it's some cheap 3D printed one or it's very low quality. So listen, I want to get something real. Obviously, I want to disrespect your pops like this. You know what I'm saying? If I want to give your pops a gift and they pass, what am I gonna get? Some cheap coin off of Amazon? That's not gonna happen. So I got the most inexpensive package, 50 of these custom coins for $298. So I was supposed to give it to him, the friend, right, in memory of his father. But obviously, just find out his mom passed too. And I have 49 more of these custom coins. So I gave two to his late mom and dad to a mutual friend who is closer to them than I am. And I told the mutual friend, give this to him when he's ready. I was supposed to only give it to his dad, but obviously something new happened with his mom. So make your best judgment, okay? Anyway, and this was yesterday, right? So my Google Calendar is like reminding me, and Alexa is reminding me. The Catholic funeral mass starts in an hour. If you have Alexa, they just never stop talking. And I was just like, oh my God. I was like, yo, stop reminding me to go to this thing. I'm about to take this off my calendar. You know what I'm saying? I think, I was just thinking yesterday. Sorry, I'm sounding like really mumbled in my words, which is kind of unusual, right? But not unusual. It's kind of usual because this topic stresses me out. Okay. So, like, I was just thinking yesterday, I think people can really pass because of extreme grief, man. Like, and it's really sad to me. Some people can, like, I remember in biology class many years ago, my professor told us that when you have a massive flood of stress hormones, it can be very toxic to your heart muscles and it could slow or prevent your heart from pumping correctly. When you're stressed from like grieving or something serious, your body will literally have inflammatory responses, which will destabilize your body. Your arteries will start becoming blocked up. Blood clots and strokes are more likely. Your immune system starts falling apart from all this stress. So, when someone loses a family member or someone's going through an extreme state of sadness, this is why the rest of their life starts to fall, like their health starts to deteriorate because like the stress hormones. And also you just get really upset when your life gets disrupted. That listen, I'm sure you know how it is for anyone who's been through a crisis or moments of sadness. You know how it's supposed to be like, or how it is when you start losing interest in eating, sleeping. Sometimes you may oversleep actually, and then you just don't do things you're supposed to be doing. Something I think about now whenever I feel stressed or a huge impactful moment attaches to me, like this situation. Look, I love his mom and dad. So I had such a nice experience with them. But you know how I'm handling it? I gave a small hint earlier in this video. Yes, it hurts me. Yes, you can tell from how I'm talking in this video, I'm getting a little bit stressed out, even just talking about this. But I keep putting myself in this mentality where like, yo, I remember reading this part in the Kabbalion, where the book said that nothing rests and everything moves. It's the law of vibration. Something like grief or anger or sadness, it's a very toxic mental response to a situation. If you let your anger or grief or sadness influence your mind, it will affect your day by day. it will affect your physical body, like I mentioned with the stress hormones, right? And it will distract you from staying on your feet and getting stuff done, like you need to eat, you need to sleep properly, etc., etc. So the law of vibration states nothing rests and everything moves. It teaches that it's a mistake to ignore the pain. Because I know some people were thinking, well, that means don't be sad or angry, just suppress your emotions. No, don't ignore it. That's ignoring it. Your anger, your grief, your sadness, embrace it. Acknowledge it. But shift it. Don't sit there entertaining it. Keep your mind busy so you don't stagnate. Transmute it. Acknowledge something that you're going through, and then it's like, okay, hold on. I got to distract myself. Hold on. I got to, I can't just sit there. It's like, oh my God, I'm going through it and so forth. And that's why I said earlier, this was my stress response. I said, nah, I'm not going to the mass today. Or it was yesterday. I'm not going to the mass. I had a lot of work to do, right? Like, that was my response, which is true. I have a lot of work I need to get done, but suddenly my priorities are swapped here. And I mentioned this in older videos. When I'm stressed, I just find something to do. And sometimes it seems like I act like nothing happened. And some people, they get bothered from this too. Like people tell me, we're like, do you not care about the situation? Or how do you feel about the situation? It's like, you just seem to be like, acting like nothing's going on. It's like, yeah, I do act like nothing's going on. I did acknowledge it. Like, like I could upload a video. I made this example before. Like, I could upload a video and my opinion in that video is very unpopular. And let's say the comment section isn't looking too nice, right? The next day I'll just upload, like, quote, nothing happened. No, I acknowledge it. I see what's going on, but I don't want to entertain the negative thoughts like that. Nothing rests and everything moves. If I sit there dwelling about negative feelings, about what people are saying, about losing this, or, what happened here and what happened there that makes me sad, angry, grieve, whatever, it's just going to stress me out. And I'm just going to like my life will begin to paralyze itself. And I've been through this so many times. It's like it really consumed a portion of my life. I know how I get when I'm sad. I know how I get when I'm angry or I'm too occupied entertaining negative emotions. I sleep all day. I start getting into my temptations, like drinking for no reason. I start overdoing energy drinks in response to how much I'll sleep. I'll play video games for no reason, despite things I know I should be doing. Like, I'll be playing video games, but I'll feel guilty while I'm playing it because I'm so stressed, because I know I got to get all this other work done. Like, I'll start, all these different temptations. You know what I'm saying? It's just not things that serve no purpose to my life. No purpose to my life. And I could just keep listing things. I just waste my time. Does it add anything to the usefulness to the future that I want to have or my success? I just paralyze myself. But you got to keep moving. You can't let the mind stagnate. Everything moves, nothing rests. It's called a law because in the book it's supposed to be related to thermodynamics, because I think the second law is that energy is always in motion. It never really stops. If you're a physics major, you know what I'm talking about. I think the only difference between thermodynamics and this hermetic science law or principle is that vibration and energy is like entropy. I think that's like the distinction, but that's a whole other thing. You know what I'm saying? The point is molecular motion. Everything in life is always moving. This is a scientific fact. If you're not moving and stagnating, then that's no good. Anyway, I'm thinking about it. I'm upset that his mom passed. I'm upset that dad passed still. I'm upset for him, right? I gotta keep moving. Life moves on, like, I don't know what to say. I feel sad about it and everything. I just can't sit there and just cry all day, Yeah. No. Anyway. Love you guys. I'm out.